Afternoon, folks, and welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. My name is Tiffany Daniels, also known as the Lady Autist. So we got a whopper for you today, folks, and the Charlie meme, you know, the one from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's got the cigarette in hand, there's a conspiracy board behind him. That's been what this day has been thus far. So I woke up this morning and what was going on is apparently there was some issues going on with the petition to remove AH from Aquaman 2. For some reason, the real Laura B was unable to log into her account. It was still showing signatures for some, but it wasn't really showing comments for anybody, at least not over here in the US. So there was a lot of speculation of what might possibly be going on. Now, I don't like to jump to the conclusions and immediately go on to the conspiracy train if other factors might actually be involved. So I asked around to see if maybe some of the other petitions were acting weird and whether they were just fixing the program, maybe they were just reviewing comments, just trying to figure out what else could possibly be going on. Well, it was about around 2 o'clock this afternoon during Come Geek Some streaming, when he was streaming a little bit earlier, and we actually found out what was going on. It looks like the comments have been removed as they supposedly violate one of the Change.org's rules. More than likely, this would be the bullying and harassment rule. So this tells me a couple of things. First of all, it tells me that A, it's working, but B, this is what we've been talking a little bit on Twitter about, guys, if you've seen it. They're watching us, and they want to twist anything we can say, anything at all that can be twisted or construed, no matter how far they have to stretch it into harassment, they're going to do it. And this just goes and proves my point. We're being watched, folks. Any excuse they have to silence the comments, they're going to use it. They are. They really, really are. So we need to watch that with some of the other petitions that are still acting normally out there. Anyways, that being said, somebody else brought up the fact that it is easy for someone to get a petition removed, if it's a petition that I don't like, by simply going on to a petition and spouting bullying, harassing, threatening things on there. So the rules definitely do need to be tweaked for Change.org, I'm not going to lie there. Now, what's got me thinking that I may have morphed into Charlie is I got to talking about it with some of the others. And the fact of the matter is, folks, think about all the backing this woman has. Can you think of any other celebrity who's ever made a claim like this, or had a divorce that was really in the public eye, that's had this level of backing? It's crazy. It's completely crazy, right? And it all follows right after the Me Too platform really got kicked off. So I hate to say it, but I'm starting to think this is so much bigger than just JD versus AH. Because if it wasn't, why would anybody go to that level, that much effort to silence people? If it was just simply another celebrity spat, with fans choosing sides. Why the need to go to this level? Why all the connections with the UK case? Now, this is something much bigger than them. And in my honest opinion, the reason why the media has it out for JD might have started with AH, but I don't think that's what's going on now. This particular case has uncovered a lot of ugly things that have been going on behind the scenes for years. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the power of the media to sway and control public opinion, whether or not they are acting on facts. That has had a light shine on it. Judicial corruption and cronyism has been exposed. There's a lot of things that are coming to light with this one little case. So, by JD simply defending himself against these allegations of his ex, he poked the hornet's nest, the rest of the hornet's nest behind her unwittingly. So, now this is beyond them. Now this has become more of a fight of not just JD versus AH, but the truth versus the reality, the narrative that the media pushes on us. It brings to light the way media is used as a weapon to silence people when it doesn't fit what they want. It's exposing a lot that really had nothing to do with their relationship at all. So, excuse my conspiracy rambling, but with that being the case, guys, that just means we gotta fight all the harder. All the harder. Because we're not just fighting for JD now. We're not just fighting for victims. We're fighting for the right to be able to be heard. Period. We're fighting for the right to not be silenced. We are fighting for the right for justice to be impartial, regardless of your gender. We are fighting for the right to be able to disagree with the narrative that is being pushed down our throats. So we've got to keep being louder, guys. We got to keep trucking on. Now, I realize that might sound crazy, and that I might be making connections that may not even be there. But it makes sense though, doesn't it? We've all been wondering why she's getting all these huge backers. AH is what she is. She's just an actress. She's just an actress. She's not a powerful politician. She's not a megacorp CEO. She's not even Elon Musk level. She is what she is. There is no other logical reason for her to get this type of backing, in spite of all the facts and evidence being against her. Other than that, all of a sudden, with her op-ed with the Sun, she's become a pawn in a much larger game. That's the only thing I can possibly come up with that makes any sense. Anyways, let me know what you think about that in the comments. Now, I want to move on to another subject real quickly. And that subject is Sia is getting some backlash from my community. in regards to her movie that she's making on autism. Now, I don't want you, any of my actually autistic people, to crucify me about this. When something is blatantly ableist, when it is blatantly just another movie showing us in a negative light while upholding our neurotypical saviors with no input from the autistic community whatsoever, you know I jump in there right with you guys every time. You know I do. But here's the facts, folks. We don't know everything about this movie. We only know a little bit about her research. She hasn't really alluded to a whole lot in regards to what that research might entail. We know that she watched some parent videos. We know she sent it to Autism Speaks. That's all we know. Okay, granted, Autism Speaks are who they are, but not everyone knows that. To the wider world that haven't really had a whole lot to deal with in regards to Autism Speaks, except for the occasional commercial that comes on TV, they don't know about the controversies. They don't know they supported the Judge Rottenberg Center. A good majority of them have no idea what even happened at the Judge Rottenberg Center. So, that being said, let's not jump in quite yet. Now, what I did was I did mention we would like more communication with the autistic community for directors who are looking to do stories about us. Because we have been stereotyped and typecast so many times that when someone's getting ready to do a movie, it's a really touchy subject for us. We're exhausted with being compared to Rain Man. We're exhausted about being compared with Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. We're exhausted from even more recently being compared to The Good Doctor. We are objects of pity, objects of ridicule, or objects of inspiration porn. But our story is never really told. That's kind of the issues that we have. Or they're exalted with their special abilities. Autistic people don't want to be shown in a negative light or a positive light. Autistic people want to be shown as autistic people. Period. Flawed, with faults and good things about them, just like everyone else. I did comment that there on Sia's page. I also put on there that until I have all the facts, until I can maybe hear from her or one of her fans, or as it comes out in the press, as to those that she did hire that are autistic that were a part of the movie, and how they cooperated together for the creative process of this film, I'm going to resist the urge to jump on and make a conclusion. Just like with the JD case, I don't like to simply just make a conclusion based on gut feelings. Even when the first parts of a trailer or controversy comes out and it looks awful, because I don't have the full story and the full details yet. And until I do, I won't be jumping to any conclusions, because I won't have everything that I need to make an unbiased opinion. So, my advice to my fellows is, guys, let her talk. If what she's doing is ableist, show out herself. If she's not trying to be ableist and just simply doesn't have all the information, after all, there is so much out there, and a good majority of it that is pushed in people's faces is from the parent groups, good. We should come in and have conversations with her like adults without attacking her. If she legitimately allowed autistics to be a part of the creative process, then it is kind of moot, guys. We give this a chance to be a civil conversation. Because otherwise, if we just go in on the attack off of little information, we become the exact thing that the martyr parents say we are. The attacking murder hornets. We just swarm no matter what. That just going in and attacking before we hear from Sia about if she did reach out to community, if she did hear back from autistics across the spectrum, if she did include them on the creative process, we just don't know that yet. And until we do, we can't engage in that type of behavior. We just can't, because that is what the martyr parents want. They'll just use that as another example as to why they're right. Hopefully, I don't get bombed because of this. Alright, folks, that's all I've got for today. As always, this is a very small channel. We really don't got a whole lot of views on here. So if you could, please hit the comments. I will not take flaming comments on the Sia thing. I will not even read them. They will simply be deleted, just as a warning. And I hope all of you have a good one. Bye-bye.